Well, hey there, folks. Ned Ledoux here, and welcome to Garage Sessions Volume 2, Episode number 13. And with this, we're in 1981. Chris Ledoux, the singing bronc rider, he rides the wild horses. Another cool cover. Songwriting mode, I guess. And so, yeah, Dad wrote the majority of these songs on here. Just to go through the list, he rides the wild horses. So you want to be a cowboy, blue eyes and freckles. Back when we was kids, which was actually a Gary McMahon song. Just riding through, I got you, freedom, just a state of mind. The Cowboy and the Hippie, Misfortune's Own Son, Old Tom Horn, When the Rodeo Comes to Town. And so yeah, Dad wrote, I think I counted seven of these songs. And I picked a song out before I started this video, and then I got to reading through the list of songs, and I forgot this one was on here. So I'm gonna do this one, and I'm pretty sure I didn't do this on the last session. But so on the back picture, the picture on the back of this album, just tell you a little story. So when I was just a little kid, we had a sheep camp out around Lynch, Wyoming, which would be about roughly 30 something miles east of KC. And yeah, I think it was just for one summer, maybe it was a little bit longer, but yeah, we had a whole bunch of sheep out there, and we lived in a sheep wagon during that summer. And he's gonna kill me if I show this picture. I gotta show it though. But this is how we took baths for us little kids. That's my little brother Will. and so, okay, change the subject a little bit. I'll cover it up. And I climbed that windmill when I was just a little boy, and my grandparents were out to the house, or out to the sheep wagon, and they saw me at the top of that windmill and told my parents, said, "Hey, I think it's time you guys get some health insurance." But it was some good memories. You know, I remember trailing the sheep from Lynch, horseback. We pushed them all the way to KC, and then we pushed them a little bit further north of KC. And yeah, just sleeping in the sheep wagon, or you know, just sleeping out under the ground or under the stars. You know, and it was a pretty cool experience. You know, I'm glad I got to do that kind of stuff when I was a kid. You know, growing up on a ranch or a farm, you know, when you're a kid and you got other things you're really wanting to do. Like for myself, you know, I got a drum kit when I was 4, maybe 5 years old, and that's all I wanted to do. But I had to go stretch fence with Granddad, or I had to go work cows, I had to flood irrigate, and all this other stuff. It's like, I just want to go play my drums. But I'm so thankful that I did all that stuff. I guess for maybe us ranch kids, you know, that grew up that way, ranching or farming or whatever it might be. I mean, it's hard work, you know, and when you're a kid, you don't really want to do that sort of thing, you know, but when you grow up and you look back on what you were doing when you were a kid, you're thankful that you did do that. You learn a work ethic, and you look back on the job that you did and say, hey, we did a pretty damn good job. You know, that fence is still there and it looks good. It's keeping all the cows in or keeping them out, whatever it might be. So yeah, you learn a lot of important things when you're working on a ranch. So God bless the ranchers and the farmers out there. It's not an easy life, but without them, we'd be in a pretty tough spot. So to change the subject just a little bit, here's one that Dad wrote. It was, it would have been on side 2, second song, side 2. It's called The Cowboy and the Hippie. And I do it just a little bit different, you know, more of a talking version, but let's see if I can remember this one. Well, on a highway through the desert, Beneath an overpass, sight two hikers just watching cars go by. And one was wearing sandals with straggly matted hair and rose-colored glasses for his eyes. And now the other was a cowboy, and he'd been down on his luck. He lost his money at the Tucson rodeo. And he sat beside what remained of his trusty pickup truck, and like the hippie now, he's thumbing down the road. And now a lot of folks don't realize, but it's a well-known fact. Cowboys and hippies ain't ever got along. Now was it just coincidence or some weird act of fate that brought these two together on the road? Well, they sat there without talking while the morning sun rose high. The hot desert breeze commenced to blow, and the fragrance of the incense and 6 weeks without a bath finally drifted down and reached the cowboy's nose. Well, boy, that really did it. He couldn't take no more, and he tied his old bandana across his face. He said, "You greasy, stinking hippie. You put a skunk to shame. Boy, you're a disgrace to the human race." Well, the hippie, he just sat there and gave the cowboy a smile, and he said, "Man, you don't smell so sweet yourself. Now, I ain't too sure what that green stuff is on your boots and on your jeans, but whew, it's enough to make a buzzard belch." Well, the cowboy, he stood up and he said, "I ain't gonna take that stuff from you. No long-haired freak's gonna talk to me that way. Get up." Well, the hippie said, "Now hold on, man, what good's it gonna do? You know, fighting never settled nothing anyway." He said, "You know, man, in a lot of ways, we're an awful lot alike. Once you get down deep beneath the skin. Like two books with different covers, but the same words inside. We're both brothers of the wind. Well, now me, I got my thing, and well, you got yours. And I don't see why we can't get along. They say the closest thing to freedom is living on the road in a country where freedom's almost gone." Well, the cowboy, he just sat there and never said a word. But this hippie, he sure made a lot of sense. And so as they shook hands and parted, a truck rolled to the side, and the hippie, he went east, and I went west. I might have left out a little part in there, but it's a pretty cool little song, you know. No harm done at all. But okay, yeah, 1981. Chris Ledoux, the singing bronc rider. He rides wild horses. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'm sorry, Will, for showing this picture. All right, I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.